What's going on, Fin Trade Pros? This is Alaskan Hog. Just kind of want to go over some things on ThinkorSwim. We had, let's see, somebody asked to talk about indicators. I believe it was Michael. Yeah, Michael. Okay, so this is the default when you open up ThinkorSwim. I'm going to go over just how I like to set my chart up, and then we can add the indicators here in a minute. So I don't like the appearance. I don't like the way it looks. To me, it's just not. It's not what I like. So I changed the background. I like to have a black background. I don't really like the grid crosshairs, so I kind of take them off. I mean, if it helps you with the lines, you can leave it on. If not, then you can leave it off. You can choose to fill these colors. You can change these colors. Um, I kind of just leave them as is. Apply that, and as you can see, the whole chart changes. The whole dynamic of the way it looks is completely different. So that's the first thing I like to do. Another thing people like to do is overlap their volume. So your volume down here at the bottom, if you want that extra space and you want to put your volume up here, you can go into your settings right here and choose to overlap volume and hit apply, and it'll put the volume up here. I just don't find that very useful. Um, Sometimes I have it that way just because I have other indicators on, but sometimes I just leave it the way it is. So I'm going to turn that back off. So this is the daily. If you change over to let's say the 5-minute period, you can see all the after movement hours. The problem I have with after movement hours is the moving averages when you have them in also account for that time frame in after hours trading, which to me is not relevant all the time because you can see the volume down here is non-existent um, before the market opens. Anyway, so I'm going to show you how to turn that off. If you don't know how to turn it off, I'm just want to show you a few ways to do things. So under equities on your settings, you're just going to click that right here that says show extended hours trading session, and you can turn that off. And then all your after hours are gone. You can see the gap ups. The gap ups look real nice. There's a couple different ways to zoom in. I'm using the trend line tool right here, and you can click and drag, and it will zoom in on an area. You can also click down here on the dates at the bottom and zoom in, and that might help you too. Just depends on how you like to navigate ThinkorSwim. All right, so Michael, it really depends on what I'm looking at. The indicators I use are different indicators for different things. So to add indicators, you click this the studies and strategies filter thing right here. And you're gonna just type in, like I like to put in the simple moving average on a basic chart. I'll throw two of them on. You can go over here and you can either click this or you can just double click into this and you can change the length. All right, so I like to have the 50 period simple moving average and the 200 period simple moving average. And I like to change the color to something different so I know what I'm looking at. I'm colorblind, so don't worry about my colors. Other people use whatever. I'm colorblind, so the colors don't matter. I just need to be able to see the difference and know which one is which. So now your indicators are on here. This is the 30-minute time frame, or the 5-minute time frame that I'm looking at. If every time you change this time frame, that indicator line is going to change, because what that is each one of these candlesticks represents part of this equation right here. So if you're using a 50 period or simple moving average, like a lot of people call it a 50 period or 50 period moving daily average or some shit like that. Anyway, it's the last 50 bars or candlesticks averaged. So that's where this line comes from right here. All right, and then here's the 200. I like using this because I can see if it's trading right on the line, and right here you can see it starts moving up on volume. I mean, this would have been a great entry right here, because you can see there was resistance right around 156, and this is Boeing that we're looking at. There's resistance at 156, and it just broke out. So this is what I like to use for longer term charts. Like, let's look at SPY. So if you look back, I'm going to take some of these off because I just want to keep the chart clean. All right, if you want to change the time frame, like this only goes back 10 days. So this is a 10-day, 30-minute chart. You can go customize list, and you can add a time frame. So I like to look at a 30-day, 30-minute time frame on the intraday. So I'm going to go down to 30 days, 30-minute time frame, hit add, apply it, and then you can select it down here. So here's your 30-day. So when I'm looking at the 50-period moving average on a 30-minute chart, it's almost like a magnet. Every time it gets up by it, it's going to come back down and touch it. Whether that goes sideways and waiting for the moving average to come up, and then it will make a move one way or the other, either up or down. Or it comes up, and then it's going to pull right back down to the moving average. And this happens a lot. Like right here, pulled all the way back down, bounced right here on the moving average, bounced right on the moving average, and then up, and then gapped up on Friday. Now I'm not saying on Monday that this is going to come all the way down and come over here. So here's another thing on ThinkorSwim that might help you guys. And I know I'm just rambling on. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to go through and show you little tricks that took me a while to figure out on this platform. So if you want some extra space over here, so you can kind of analyze this, you can go up to your settings up here again, click on it, go into I believe it is time access. Yes, time access. Expansion area, and you can choose how many bars you can type it in. So I'm just going to put 30 bars to the right. Hit apply, and as you can see, there's 30 bars worth of space here. So now you can really zoom in and look at your charts better. But every time you change these time frames, these moving averages are going to change, as you can see right here. So it really just depends on what you guys want to do. So once you get something set up and you like it, he wants fib retracements. When is this useful? Okay, I'll look into that. Just a second, jumping 45. So where was that? Okay, other indicators that I like to use. RSI. MACD is kind of lagging. It definitely lags, but the thing with MACD is, and I'm going to get off SPY because it doesn't, we're going to go to BA. So the thing with the MACD is it really, to me, for day trading, it's all right, but it's not really that good. It's hard to see. I know TradeShark has his charts really tiny, and sometimes it's difficult to see, but I like to be able to drag these up and really kind of tune into what's happening whenever these cross over. And I mean, it went down, but it didn't go down. I mean, I guess it did go down significantly from the 218, but right after it hit 218 BA on Friday, there's the drop. I mean, and you could see it incoming, but that doesn't always mean it is going to income. But you can see the drop, and it starts to happen, and then it's kind of come down and just leveled out. But I don't use the MACD alone to trade. It's just something that I look at. Really don't take a lot into the MACD, and just not. I have it there because I want to see what it's doing, but it's not something that I trade solely on. Get all these back down here. Oh, great. All right, guys, I'm going to stop this video and restart this.